Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to another week of Bible Story. So, this week's Bible story is based on the book of Esther, and you can find that in the Bible. Today's story is titled Beautiful Queen Esther. There was once a beautiful girl named Esther. When her father and mother died, Esther's cousin Mordecai brought her up. Esther honored her cousin by obeying him as a good daughter. Esther lived in Persia, but Esther was not Persian. She was Jewish. Her ancestors came to Persia as prisoners of war. In Esther's day, many Jews lived in Persia. The king of Persia held a huge banquet for princes from all over the world. The men ate apart from the women who were also banqueting with Queen Vashti. The drunken king ordered Queen Vashti to wear the royal crown and show her beauty. Queen Vashti refused. To show that ladies should honor their husbands, the king passed a law which took the crown from Vashti. She was no longer queen. A search was made for a new queen. Out of all the beautiful girls in the kingdom, the king chose Esther as his wife. He set the royal crown upon her head. Esther did not tell the king she was Jewish because her cousin had told her not to. Cousin Mordecai spent his time at the entrance to the palace to hear news of Esther. One day, he overheard two palace servants planning to murder the king. Mordecai sent a warning which saved the king's life. The servants were hanged, and Mordecai's name was written in the king's record book. Second in command to the king was a rich man called Haman. Everybody bowed when Haman passed by. Everybody except one man. As a Jew, Mordecai worshipped only the living God. Haman hated Mordecai so much he decided to kill him and all the Jews in Persia. How dreadful! Wicked Haman tricked the king into signing a law that at a certain time every Jew in the kingdom would be killed. It was a terrible law. Both Jews and Persians mourned. But remember, God had made Esther queen, and she was a Jewess. Would she keep her secret from the king? Or would she risk death to try and save her people? God gave Esther a clever idea. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet. There the king promised her anything she asked. Let the king and Haman come to the banquet. Tomorrow, Esther replied. Then she would tell the king what she wanted. Meanwhile, Haman prepared a huge gallows to hang Mordecai. That night, the king couldn't sleep. Reading the court records, he saw that Mordecai had never been rewarded for saving his life. Next morning, the king asked Haman, "What shall be done for the man the king delights to honor?" Haman was delighted. He thought the king meant him. Haman had come to ask the king's permission to hang Mordecai. The gallows were all ready. Now that could wait. Excitedly, Haman poured out his suggestions. Dress the man in the king's robe and crown. Sit him on the king's horse. Command a royal prince to lead the man through the city for all to see. Hasten and do so for Mordecai the Jew, the king commanded Haman. How do you think Haman felt as he led Mordecai in honor around the city? He hated Mordecai even more than before. Just wait, Haman may have thought. He'll soon be dead, along with all the other Jews. Later that day, Haman and the king arrived at Queen Esther's banquet. "What is your petition?" the king asked. He had not forgotten his promise. Pointing to Haman, Queen Esther told the king all about Haman's wicked plot. "Hang him," the king said. Then the king passed another law allowing the Jews to defend themselves. They were saved. Mordecai became second in command to the king, and all the Jews rejoiced and gave gifts to one another. Even today, Jewish people remember how God saved them through beautiful Queen Esther. The end.